ベン・スカルボローが登壇します。
Well, good morning and welcome. Thank you for having us here in Tokyo. This is my first visit. If you were in the last keynote, you found that out. It's been a great time to be here. Thank you for having all of us. And what a great opportunity to talk about Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. You know, one of the things you may have heard is that all hyperscaler clouds are the same. And maybe you've had someone ask you, why OCI? One of the things that I want to talk about today is why OCI. Not only is why OCI the great question asked when you're talking about any of your cloud workloads, but specifically, how is OCI positioned for the AI era? We've been talking a lot about AI this morning. We'll continue that throughout the day, but it's important to understand why OCI. And to be fair, I personally had to answer that question myself when I was first invited to join Oracle Cloud 8 years ago, to join their engineering team. And to be honest, when I asked myself that question, why OCI, I thought the question would be immediately obvious, but it wasn't. And what I found very quickly is that as I was talking to both business leaders and engineering leaders at Oracle Cloud, I was convinced that they didn't want to build just a carbon copy of what every other cloud already offered. In fact, they wanted to build something different. They wanted to engineer it different. They wanted to engineer it for a new era of cloud workloads. And some of those differentiators have been key as we move into the AI era. And so what we're going to talk about today is that not all hyperscaler clouds are the same. And it's OCI's commitment to a differentiated technical, business, and strategic vision that drives OCI's leadership in the cloud market today. So today I want to share 4 primary areas in which OCI operates in a class of its own. We're going to talk about 4 world-class cloud differentiators. And the first one that we're going to start with is infrastructure. It's the foundation that everything else rests upon. Now, it's going to be important that when we talk about infrastructure, you may immediately want to tune me out for a lot of reasons, but also because we're talking about infrastructure. Because maybe you think, well, I'm an applications person, or I'm an AI data platform person. I'm not really an infrastructure person. But when we talk about infrastructure, it's so important to understand that Oracle Cloud's infrastructure is the foundation on which all of the applications, the Oracle data, all of those things that you've come to know and love about Oracle runs on top of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So when you have a solid infrastructure foundation, everybody benefits. Second differentiator we're going to talk about today is OCI's distributed and sovereign cloud strategy. You see, OCI has a commitment to ensure that every Oracle Cloud region is built on the same set of services, making OCI more modular, giving customers flexibility and choice when solving for your sovereign requirements. Third, we want to talk about multi-cloud, how we have extended Oracle's multi-cloud solution into Azure, into Google, and into AWS through direct technical and commercial integrations. We want to talk about the potential that that unlocks for you as a customer. And finally, we're going to close out by talking about data and AI. We're talking about how OCI's first 3 differentiators enable you as a customer to build your data and AI solutions to extract real business value in the AI era. OCI infrastructure, engineered for the future, available in sovereign environments and in the cloud of your choice with multi-cloud, leveraging Oracle's unmatched database and industry applications for the AI era. There's 4 reasons why Oracle is not the same. You know, as an engineer, I always like to go back to first principles. And so starting with the infrastructure layer is familiar territory for me personally. You know, it's public knowledge that Oracle is operating at the bleeding edge of AI infrastructure technology. We are building the largest superclusters in the world for many of the largest, and might I say, most demanding AI companies in the world. They don't give our engineering teams any break. They push us, and they push us hard, and we are delivering on that. One recent example of this, I was with NVIDIA last month at their annual conference in California, NVIDIA GTC. We announced it together the upcoming supercluster powered by NVIDIA's Vera Rubin technology, the latest GPU accelerator from NVIDIA. just one example of how we're continuing to push the boundaries of cutting-edge AI infrastructure technology here at OCI. But see, this isn't a new approach for Oracle. See, it's the outcome of relentless focus on our mission to continue to push the highest performance, lowest cost, highly secure, everywhere cloud. You know, we knew as a later entry to the cloud market that we could not build these structural advantages into our cloud if we were just a carbon copy of every other cloud. We needed to build a second generation cloud, a cloud that identified the opportunities for innovation that would benefit our customers and your customers the most. And it's that decade of focus and investment on this innovation is what underpins OCI's differentiation in the market. But let's look at a few examples of how this infrastructure is benefiting you today. Now, when I talk about infrastructure, I always like to break it down into those three core services: compute, networking, and storage. And the first thing that we all have to talk about when we're talking about infrastructure, and especially specifically in the AI infra era, is we got to talk about compute and bare metal compute. OCI was the first hyperscaler to have a bare metal first approach to compute engineering. And I would argue still truly has the only bare metal first approach to compute engineering: security, operations, and performance. That means all of the great innovations that are happen all the way down at the server level, and everything gets the benefit from that that's built on top of it. See, virtualized environments, by definition, they introduce a tax on system resources and performance and security through the overhead that they provide to subdivide the host into the various instances that the user might take advantage of. Now, OCI also offers an excellent set of virtualized solutions, but those virtualized solutions are built on top of world-class bare metal architecture. You see, our largest customers predominantly consume bare metal shapes because they love the raw price performance, they love the security and reliability and availability that's built right into the bare metal layer. You see, by avoiding the virtualization overhead, we provide the highest compute value per dollar in the industry. Customers can then manage their own stack on top of that bare metal shape in any way that they choose, but they get to operate at a layer that's lower than they're used to getting from other clouds. But when you're talking about infrastructure, you first got to start with talking about how you're differentiating and what you're computing. How can you compute data as fast as possible? But once you're computing data really fast, you need to make sure that you can move that data just as fast. Otherwise, your network becomes the bottleneck. And we knew that when we built OCI, traditional Oracle database customers already required a fast and secure RDMA network. But at the time, there was no hyperscaler that had built an at-scale, multi-tenant RDMA-capable network. And so we built our network using Rocky V2, RDMA over converged Ethernet. That enables secure multi-tenant RDMA, and we're able to offer these RDMA capabilities at the price point of a traditional shared IP network. Now, this early bet proved to be quite prophetic, as it were, because with the bare metal and the RDMA network, we were perfectly positioned for the AI revolution, where customers are demanding more and more from their infrastructure as they train the largest superclusters on the largest superclusters in the world, the largest language models in the world, and they want to deliver them at record speed for their customers. You see, it's this high throughput, low latency, internode communication that is required for GPU training and inferencing at scale. But once you can compute things really quickly, and once you can move that data really quickly, you got to be careful about the next bottleneck, and that's storage. You need to be able to store and retrieve data as fast as possible to be able to enable their customer workloads. And there's a lot of things that we could talk about with respect to storage, but when I talk about storage, what I want to talk about is another differentiator that we have, and that is we want to be able to provide our customers choice and flexibility that meets your customer workloads, that allows you to deliver price performance advantages onto your end users. And so one of the things that we do across the entire platform is we have flexible compute, we have flexible networking, and we have flexible storage. And one of the things that we want to do as Oracle Cloud is we want to make sure that our customers are provisioning and paying for exactly the CPU, RAM, storage, and networking that you use. And OCI's high-performance block storage is a perfect example of this. What we did at a technical level is that we separated storage size and performance. So using a simple slider in the user interface or a single API call, customers can dial in the exact volume performance units that they need. Storage costs stay low, and IOPS and throughput can now scale dynamically based on your customer workloads, all without manual reconfiguration. So with all these amazing innovations at the infrastructure level, one of the next questions we get is, well, that sounds great, but how can you offer that and still be so much less expensive than the other hyperscalers? See, those are just 3 examples of how we're innovating at different levels of the infrastructure stack to deliver the highest performance, lowest cost, highly secure, everywhere cloud. But the result of all that innovation is we're actually able to drive a lower cost cloud as well. And it's not because we're compromising on quality or innovation. It's because we have made intentional engineering decisions and product level innovations that drive lower pricing and costs. And by the way, it goes beyond the innovations that we just talked about. Let me give you a few more examples that I think help illustrate this. The first is our region deployments. Our region deployments, as we'll talk about in a moment, have massively smaller footprints than other hyperscalers. Means we're able to deliver an entire OCI region at a fraction of the cost and get it up and running faster. When we do that, we can pass that savings on to our customers. We also have automated deployment capabilities to launch new regions in weeks instead of months. See, both of those innovations minimize capital outlay and hardware idle time. What does this mean? That means we have reduced costs, and those reduced costs can then be passed on to our customers and to your customers in lower prices. And then finally, the set of services that we deliver on OCI is comprehensive. It's everything that you need to be able to run your most demanding workloads, but we think that it's not bloated either. You know, one of the surveys revealed that most customers only use 10% of their cloud provider's service portfolio. And they really optimize for the infrastructure and data services when they are consuming, areas where we think OCI is excelling in the market. Well, what does this mean? See, OCI chose not to fall into the trap of building all these superfluous niche services. And as a result, we don't have to charge our customers a premium on core compute, storage, and networking so that they can subsidize a portfolio of services that they're never going to use. And the big payoff for customers when we follow this approach is right here in our global service map. You see, when we have an OCI everywhere philosophy, and we've done massive innovation to be able to scale that down, we can put everything everywhere all around the globe. OCI offers services in every region at the same price with the same SLA. Now, that sounds obvious on the face of it, but it's actually an anomaly among hyperscalers. See, other CSPs have taught their customers that they should only expect all services in their largest region, or they are only going to get headline low prices in their largest regions. And so what should be simple is now overly complex as a user, because now when you're evaluating another provider, you have to evaluate which region supports the service that I need and at which price points. Not so with OCI. We've simplified it. And we've said you can go wherever you want, anywhere in the world. You can expect the same great OCI cloud regions wherever we operate. Now, those same rock-solid infrastructure services available everywhere, not just in OCI commercial regions, but also in our distributed and sovereign cloud regions. And that leads us to differentiator number 2. This is a picture of a private cloud. The same infrastructure fundamentals that allow our networks and our hardware to scale up to the largest AI superclusters are the same foundational infrastructure that we use to enable massive scale down. This means that OCI can build private regions for individual customers to meet stringent sovereign cloud requirements without compromise. And at OCI, we call that a dedicated region. You can rapidly deploy full stack Oracle Cloud with an expandable footprint starting as small as 3 racks. You only need 3 racks to get started with the full set of OCI services. And then you, as the operator, get to decide how you build out your region with storage or compute with GPUs, but you get the freedom of choice, and you're only paying for what you use. And the great thing is that it's all metered and billed, and it operates the same way that you're used to every other OCI commercial regions. See, other hyperscalers have taught customers to expect private cloud offerings to have fewer services, to cost more money, and to have scaling limitations, and OCI distributed regions prove otherwise. And OCI is the dedicated region demand to prove it. There are a lot of large OCI customers using dedicated region today to enable businesses that need to run in their own data centers for sovereignty, latency, security, and other compliance reasons. In Europe, Vodafone consolidated over 40 on-premise data centers into 6 dedicated regions with Oracle Cloud. And in the Middle East, Ithqa Group is running 2 dedicated regions in Oman to deliver sovereign government services to their citizens. And we see the same in Japan and in the rest of Asia and all around the world. Now I want to show you a different picture, or maybe it's the same picture. See, this is a private cloud. I'm sorry, this is a public cloud. My last slide was a private cloud. This slide's a public cloud. This is a public cloud. Now you're thinking maybe they look the same, and it's true, they do, because see, the demand didn't stop just with dedicated regions. A lot of our countries have growing requirements for sovereign clouds that are locally owned and operated, but the cost and time to build a full public cloud with all the associated hardware and software and application design and development is prohibitive. And so we launched what we call Oracle Alloy. Alloy uses the same modular OCI hardware and software as our dedicated regions, but enables our partners to rebrand it and to operate it as their own cloud, even letting them launch their own customized web services, in addition to the full portfolio of OCI services that come standard with every Oracle Cloud region. Now, like dedicated region, Alloy is in production today with a large range of partners who are using it to build sovereign clouds to meet the needs of their local markets. We've got a lot of great operators here in Japan that are using Oracle Alloy to provide regional cloud services for businesses, for the public sector, and for other users and operators. And it allows you to do so in a way that ensures digital sovereignty and operational transparency while still meeting the needs of your local markets. Around the world, E&D uses their Alloy to give customers access in the Middle East to local cloud services, including GPUs for AI-enabled workloads. But one of the things that we found when we were starting to offer these dedicated regions and Alloy regions is that one of the barriers to some entrance into the market was available data center space. And that's why just last month we announced something we call hosted dedicated regions. Hosted dedicated regions now enables our partners to be able to deploy a dedicated cloud within an existing Oracle Cloud data center. That reduces time to market for our partners, enabling the expansion into new global markets, and it also opens the door to additional revenue for you as a partner. So this is letting our dedicated region and Alloy partners launch new regions faster and rely on OCI for their infrastructure with hosted dedicated regions. But when we think about Oracle Cloud, our ability to scale down, to operate at the bare metal layer, to scale up to the largest superclusters in the world, we also talk about scaling out, and that's our third hyperscaler differentiation, multi-cloud. You see, the modularity of OCI's second generation cloud lets us stand up those regions really fast, and that innovation has also unlocked new ways for us to operate with our partners. And one of the coolest outcomes of this is that we can now operate OCI inside of other clouds. We're using this to bring world-class database solutions, including Oracle AI database and other data services to those clouds. We call this multi-cloud, and for customers, it means that you can now get the Oracle AI database that you know and love, not only on-premises, but also in Oracle Cloud, running the exact same Exadata hardware in the cloud of your choice, with low latency, connectivity to your apps, and to your AI pipelines. And we've worked with our partners to say not only on-premise, not only in Oracle Cloud, but we want this experience as seamless as possible so that you can use the same cloud identity, networking, observability, and operational tools as you would in the cloud of your choice. And so we've integrated that with Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS. And the great thing is that when you're running Oracle database in one of these other providers, you have access to your favorite AI tools on those providers as well. Oracle AI database is sitting right next to Google's Vertex AI, AWS Bedrock, or Azure's Copilot. Just another way that we are innovating with our partners. But we found that there was not only technical barriers that we needed to overcome for our customers, there was also commercial barriers. And so one of the things that we launched recently is a new purchasing model called multi-cloud universal credits. And with this approach, you get to make a single purchase commitment with OCI that then you can use for multi-cloud solutions, whether they are running in AWS, Azure, Google, or any of your commitments running on OCI. And so once again, we're simplifying how you operate as a user. We're simplifying contracting, and we're allowing you to aggregate your commitments together. So now, the data in your Oracle database is what will fuel the value you get out of the AI revolution. But only if you can unlock it with being able to have access to the AI pipelines that you need. Multi-cloud universal credits is part of that unlock, putting power back in your hands so that you can build what you need where you need it without getting locked in. This is us being able to bring the data to your workloads and not forcing you to have to bring the workloads to us. This is Oracle multi-cloud and multi-cloud universal credits. And that brings us really to our fourth and final differentiator today, our data and AI services and solutions. You know, a lot of the AI revolution has been fueled by public data. There's a lot of hype. You can go into your favorite AI tool and you can ask it silly questions about public data. It might even generate a goofy image of a coworker or a snippet of a video. But real, true business value is not driven by public data. We're finding that customers are recognizing that real business value comes by partnering private data together with AI. It's no longer about who can even build the best user interface on top of that data. You can vibe code that in a weekend. It's about data access and governance to your private data with AI tools, unlocking true business value for you and for your customers. And we provide that to you in a couple of ways. You see, to really be able to unblock AI-driven innovation with your private data, you need three things. You need a way to connect to data across systems. You need a way to govern access to that data consistently. And thirdly, you need a way to turn intelligence into actions. And we provide those three things for you in two different ways. One for customers that are using the Oracle AI database, and the other for customers building right on top of OCI, AI capabilities for your workload. Let's talk first about Oracle AI database. It gives you a single secure control point for AI and analytics, and it stores that data when you want it to. And with Oracle Autonomous AI Vector Database, it can natively store vectorization data for easy AI integration directly into the Oracle database. You don't need another data store to be able to have your vectorized data. The vectorized data is stored right in the Oracle AI database, enabling you to unlock it with AI integration right in the database. The other thing that Oracle AI database does is it can index data that is stored in external systems where you already have it using open formats like Apache Iceberg. So this central indexing and central vectorization means you can use more of your private data without having to copy it everywhere. It allows you to have consistent security and governance models, and it enables you to leverage our new capabilities like Oracle Deep Data Security that implements powerful end-user specific controls and data privacy rules right in the database. And it lets you get fine-grained access controls all the way to the table, row, column, and even the cell level of the database. What does that mean? That means it's secure by default right in the Oracle AI database, however you would access the data. Now, on top of that, we talked earlier about turning intelligence into actions. Now that we've got all of the vectorization and the indexing and the security, we've got the access, we've got the governance, we've got the data. Oracle AI Database has now announced a new native private agent factory to simplify agent development directly against your data. So the Oracle AI Database is everything you need to store that data securely, governance, access, control, AI intelligence, turning that intelligence into actions. But the other way that we're unlocking power for our users is through OCI Enterprise AI. We just launched this last month. OCI Enterprise AI is a new service, and what it does is it combines all the best of what we had in our OCI Generative AI service with OCI agents. It's now a single powerful platform that lets you as customers build applications faster, have easy access to latest standards and to open source frameworks, but it also has all of the built-in provided governance and improved security that you've come to know and love and trust from Oracle Cloud. And this new service has 3 layers: models, agents, and governance. Models offers AI intelligence for inferencing. Agents offers the ability to turn that intelligence into action, and governance ensures that you have built-in trust and security for your customer workloads. The result of all of this is a single, simplified development experience that lets you get data and value from your private data faster and with greater impact for your customers. Now, finally, as with all of our OCI product decisions, we want to enable customer flexibility and choice, and OCI Enterprise AI continues to deliver on that strategic vision. You see, as our customers have gained more experience integrating AI into their workloads, more experience getting AI-driven business value of their private data, we've noticed that they've come to recognize that different data and different applications benefit from different AI models, and we want to make sure you have everything that you need to be successful. We've also found that we can solve this by providing all the best generative AI solutions right inside of OCI through the OCI Enterprise AI service and a range of our other AI integrations. And so whether your use case benefits the best from Grok, from ChatGPT, from Llama, Command R, Gemini, or even our new Bring Your Own Model option, you have all these options available in OCI, all with easy consumption models and simple integration. And AI is changing everything for customers all around the world. Many of our largest customers are in production right now with Oracle's AI solutions, getting real business value with AI out of their private data. SMEG migrated its Oracle Digital Assistant to OCI Generative AI using Cohere's R+ model. They're able to help customers and support agents quickly find accurate answers from a vast library of product manuals and support documentation that's stored in an open search database. This enables them to enhance the UK self-service and reducing expected customer service inquiries for their customers. And of course, another example of this is Zoom. Zoom and OCI have been working together for many years as they've gone through their hyper growth and as they've been driving some of the most visible real-world AI today. You can see that in each of your day-to-day lives every time you hop on Zoom and you click that AI companion button. AI is changing everything for customers all around the world. So the next time someone asks you why OCI, just remember these 4 key differentiators. From the foundational infrastructure layer that enables scale up and scale down, to simple, consistent services across commercial, dedicated, and sovereign regions, not being locked in, but benefiting from OCI's multi-cloud strategy that allows you to scale out to wherever you are running your Oracle database. And finally, ensuring that Oracle is empowering you to take advantage of your data and AI workloads to add true business value. This is Oracle Cloud positioned for the AI era. Thank you.